Yes, it is true. The title and thumbnail of this video is not clickbait. Chapter 3 released in July 22nd, 2021, so it's been about 901 days since Spellbreak last saw a gameplay update. However, now this fantasy shooter has new items and a community for those to play with. How has this happened though? Well, when Proletariat first announced that Spellbreak was shutting down, the devs gave PC players the option to still play the game with their community edition. From this, people in the community called Element Fracture worked hard to pump out a balanced update, as well as introduce items that many people haven't had a chance to play with yet. Spellbreak without a doubt was one of my favorite games. I remember thinking that I was going to make content on Fortnite. But then I saw this ad for this game and it made me remember about the time Dr. Disrespect played the alpha version. It was actually this clip specifically that made me realize this game had so much potential.
But being evasive right here, something so hard to do against players of this caliber.
Yeah, it was a smart play right there. You see him take advantage of this little corner spot. I've seen this being used more and more lately. He gets away, uses it to dodge the wind spam. Nice turn by Syncade. Realizes that he doesn't have his cloud off of cooldown. This might be the end of the road for our hero here. Takes two slaps though to the face. Uses it off a nice
tiny
burn.
cloud! Oh my goodness, what a play! What a play!
Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, Syncade just whipped out a highlight play for you guys to enjoy.
From there, I was hooked. I did multiple 24-hour streams easy. But as we know today, the game was abandoned by Proletariat, who were sold to work on WoW's Dragon expansion. I don't want to spend too much time on why the game died, but I think it can be summed up by two reasons. One is that the developers bit off more than what they could chew. Making a video game could be hard, and releasing a game on all 4 platforms without having an open beta test on all 4 platforms, first, is a recipe for disaster. Also, waiting 5 months after the official release to put the game on Steam hurt too. And I remember so many Reddit posts talking about how the Nintendo Switch players couldn't actually see the game because of a black screen bug whenever booting up Spellbreak, or the countless issues of desync that plagued the game early on. Basically, this indie company had a hard time managing all of these issues and set the game back. The second reason, which most people would agree with, was the lack of impactful content. If you were someone who played this game since its beta or alpha, you didn't get anything truly moving till chapter 2, outside of a cosmetics of course. Even if you were a brand new player, then all you got to play with was a rune ability that was always available to those who were in the beta and alpha, as well as some minor in-game changes. Nothing too groundbreaking from a player's perspective, let alone get you excited for more than a day after trying it out. However, after going through all the stages of grief 3 times, I wanted to try this game out again. Also, if you want to as well, I left the link down below to Element Fracture Discord, the ones who were able to update this game a bit. I spent a lot of time with some of the members in this community when Spellbreak was thriving, so I trust them. They host weekly events too if you want to play against actual humans. They also have a Patreon where you can make custom skins for you just to try out in game if you want. And if this video gets more than 30 likes, I do a part 2 where I actually play with them and you guys get to see how the sweats get down.
So before we get into the game, I just want to show you that they have some like different items where the boots usually give you run speed, but they also have secondary effects now. I think this is very similar to how it was in the alpha. I never played alpha Spellbreak, but yeah, it's interesting that they decided to add this. I'm cool with this. This is cool. Yeah, I always thought it would be more fun if people could just start off with 100 armor. Not off with 100 armor, but you didn't really need belts to get armor. Kind of like similar in the Fortnite where you could just drink shield potions or slurp juices, I should say, and get it. But this is cool too. I like that they're being creative and whatnot. This is pretty cool and whatnot. So these are new items that people probably have never played unless you played in the alpha version of Spellbreak. I'm not even too sure if these were in the alpha version of Spellbreak nonetheless. But yeah, once you get inside the game, you should hit the squiggly line and the command prompt should pop up. You can hit it again if you don't really see it. And then you can hit start match. Okay, I just gotta type it all the way. That's cool. And then the match is starting. But yeah, Dust Bowl was like one of my favorite spots to land at just because the loot over there was insane and whatnot. But yeah, this game was always so beautiful to me. I'm surprised like no other companies thought about like doing a concept similar to Spellbreak. It's just, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of a kind. So we just found ourselves a chest right here, Scroll of the Mind. Easy peasy, just read it up. And then you'll see our mind talent just increased. So we have a little bit extra mana now without even having to find an amulet. And now we found an amulet, so we have more mana to attack. And we got armor. Oh, I don't get armor from the bat. I gotta find shards. Oh, that's rip. But yeah, now we have armor. But yeah, one of the cool things about Spellbreak was its elemental reactions, right? So like every attack in this game combines with each other. Let me see something. Okay, I can pocket this. That's sweet. So you have ice, and I'm able to skate on this because I selected the Frostborn class, which makes skating possible. But if you don't select the Frostborn class, you won't be able to skate and whatnot. And as you can see, it turns into water after time, and then you can do that. It becomes a little poison and whatnot. There's other combos you can do with this gauntlet. Let me see if I can. And then throw some poison in there and you become a poison tornado. There's a lot of other things you can do, which I'm probably showing on the screen. Those elemental combinations, the ones that you guys are seeing on the screen right now, were, I feel like, a lot of people's favorite part of the game and whatnot. All right, so we have a new rune. I haven't used this rune at all. It's called the Gateway Rune. I guess this is another new item that they added, that the community added. I think someone showed me a leak of this. It's like a rune that the developers were trying to make work, but they never released it. I wonder how many unreleased stuff Proletariat were working on and just never gave it to us. I know they were trying to add NPCs into the game as well at one point. I'm not too sure if that was supposed to be for a battle royale or for a different game mode that they were planning on doing, but let's see how this works. Oh, so you just, okay, it's kind of like a I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's kind of like a budget it's like a budget wraith ability where she's able to like travel, but it's a little bit more instantaneous. I wonder how far away you can shoot it from. It's like if I hold it the longer it goes. It looks like it's set in speed. I can see why they didn't add this to the game. I mean, I can see its use, but it's all right. Other runes like the Dash Rune and the Shadow Step, like the ones that you guys saw earlier, were usually the best type of runes to get in this game, in my opinion. Okay, I think I can change the difficulty a little bit. Oh, they added Blink? There's Blink in here? Oh, no shot. They added the Blink rune. There's no way. I've never got a chance to use this. Like, this was an alpha rune that a lot of people had a lot of fun playing with, and they were just so skilled with it. Some of the things that they were able to do with this rune. Of course, they added it into the game. That's so cool. Oh, it's not like the same animations. They're keeping the dash notifications, but I guess it works similar to the way how Blink worked in alpha. That's interesting. So it's like, that's cool. It's not the same, but it could be worse. So right now I'm trying to increase the bot's difficulties. That kind of tells you like what difficulty means what. I think we're going to start off with medium. At least I hope it's medium. And let's see if they're a little bit more aggressive now. Yeah, that was easy peasy. You know what? Let's increase the difficulty. We're gonna max out the difficulty real quick. We're back at it, try number 2. I set the bot difficulty to the hard, so maybe we'll get a little bit more of a challenge. Again, feel free to join the Elemental Fracture Discord if you guys want to face off against real human beings. Just know that you probably will get clapped, just because you're going against people who've been playing this game for years, non-stop. We got the stone gauntlet. This thing was a bane to everyone's back. Oh, hello. So you are fighting now, but it doesn't look like you're moving much. Hopefully I changed it. I'm not too sure. We'll figure it out. Something. We'll figure this out. Yeah, this is one of my favorite runes, is the flight rune. So you just go in the air, and then I think this was a lot of new players' favorite rune, honestly, is the flight rune. I still liked it, even though there were better options back in the day, in my opinion. We need to find ourselves a belt. All right, we got an amulet, more mana. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of mana. We got a bigger smiley face on the screen now. Throw some talks, and then boom, there you go, dragon fire. You even hear the little dragon sound at the end of it too. I guess it was very inspired by Game of Thrones. I wouldn't be surprised if the developers were a big fan of Game of Thrones and they were like, you know what, that's actually pretty cool. Let's add that. And then we got the Gateway Rune. We already saw that. We're gonna stick with the flight rune. The flight rune was a little bit cooler, anyways. All right, we do need to find ourselves a belt. All right, there we go. You see, streamer loot is real. You just complain enough, and then you get something good. I always did like the little added effect that, like, when you're healing over time, your character kind of glows up too. And that was a cool little update that the developers added somewhere. I think it was either chapter 1 or 2 that they added something like that. Could have been chapter 3 for all I know, honestly. My memory of that time wasn't really the best. No, I know a lot of people say Battle Royale killed this game. Agree to disagree, but if Riot MMO looks anything like this, it's gonna sell like hotcakes, honestly. And it was kind of funny because I made a video because I had a feeling that Proletariat was thinking about selling the company, or at least maybe selling the IP or getting bought by somebody. And I was actually wishing that Riot was gonna be, if they were gonna be bought by anybody, I was hoping it was Riot Games, honestly. But yeah, like I was saying, I didn't play any of Riot Games titles like Valorant or League of Legends all that much. I just knew that when it comes to making video games and titles, they just knew how to make a very popular one that people would love to sink their time into. And they know how to make forever games, you know, games that will last at least a decade. You know, with League, it's gonna last a decade, and I don't think I can even jinx it. Valorant's gonna last over a decade too, right? So they really know how to like make popular games and make them last a while. So just imagine though, like if Proletariat got bought by Riot Games and they worked on Riot's MMO instead of WoW's Dragon expansion, and they had like a lot of like the same elements of Spellbreak but in the world of Runeterra. Oh my goodness, just imagine the potential that a game like that would have. You know, they had the same combat, a little bit of movement, but since it's an MMO, maybe not as crazy, but I don't know, man. It would have been so sick. It would have been so sick to see. Mainly because the developers of Proletariat low-key wanted to make their own MMO, but something like that's kind of hard for an indie company to even think about doing, you know? To make an MMO. It requires so much. But yeah, now I can do Firefly, which is an ability that you get over time. If I could find a dash rune, I could dash through it and even go even faster. There's like so many cool combinations, you guys, that you can do. I don't think you can do it with the Spring Step rune. It's a little bit harder to do like super speed with it. Some people call it like the jet burners. Yeah, if I get the dash rune, I'll show it to you guys. It was a pretty sick thing to do. It was an accident. It was like a happy accident too. It wasn't like an intended effect. And the developers were like, screw it. It is pretty cool. We'll keep it in, you know? Kind of like how some of like Apex's movement text were just made by accident as well. Oh, I just won again. Okay. Well, I thought I increased the bot's difficulties, but I guess they're still a little silly. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like to see a part 2 of me actually facing real players and getting clapped left and right. Y'all stay safe. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later.